Thank you, Sean. Thank you for everyone at Icon Coaching.
Simon, congratulations, man. You know what that is?
That's winning.
It's winning, baby. I love it when you're winning. That's fantastic.
I got 2 under contract, so that's like 2.8 million in 2 weeks.
You've got to take control of your production to make sure that you're making more money, your bank account balance is rising, that your net worth is increasing, and that's what we want to see happen.
So that they can save the listing.
Which I'm really, really thankful for, Sean. Thank you.
See everyone coming on board. Welcome to Icon Coaching's webinar. Or good afternoon. Maybe it's morning to some people, maybe not. Good morning or good afternoon. Hey, my name is Rob Daniel, and I am I call myself the COO or CEO of Icon Coaching. And I'm going to talk to you today about how to list 5 for sale by owners, at least 5 for sale by owners by Halloween, okay, by October 3rd. Now, you could do that prior to Halloween. Don't limit yourself to that. But I do want to talk to you, but I want to ask you this first, and I'm going to hit my chat. Tell me where you're from. What state are you from? If you could put that over into the chat so I can kind of see what part of the United States everybody is coming from right now. So, Maine, I've been up there, quite a few times. I used to be actually an appraiser in Maine for about 3 months. Florida, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Texas. Hey, Ken, I just want to let you know that we have a thing called Sales Surge coming in Texas. I don't know if you have signed up for that. It's free. It's actually going to be live. We're going to be in Dallas. We're going to be in Austin, San Antonio, and also in Houston. And that's going to be in October. And so hopefully there it is right there. They just put that over there for you that are in Texas. So see that. So we're all over the place. I can see that. California, Orlando. I used to live in Orlando, Ron, in Celebration, Florida, the city that Disney built for about 10, 11 years. And now I'm in Central Virginia, bought a farm here, going to be maybe a wannabe farmer. And so I'm looking forward to that. Well, everybody, I see everybody coming in, and I do appreciate everybody being here. I trust that over the next 30 minutes, that what you're going to get, and let me just give you a little bit of context here. I had the good fortune whenever I sold real estate, I listed 4 to 5 for sale by owners every month for 8 years straight, every single month for 8 years straight. And I'm going to give you the system basically of how I did it. It takes a little work. It takes picking up the telephone and making phone calls. And so again, I trust that by the time that we finish, and by the way, I listed and on September the 30th, you might want to write this down. September the 30th, I'm going to show you how to get 5 expireds by Thanksgiving. And I listed 9 expireds a month, average 9 expireds a month for 8 years straight. But we're going to talk about for sale by owners first, because right now, in listening to the National Association of Realtors and listening to people and the coaching program that I have for expireds and for sale by owners, we are listing a lot of for sale by owners right now. A lot of for sale owners are beginning to list. A lot of for sale owners are getting tired of just being on the market, and they are beginning to list. And I trust again that by the time that I finish with you today, that you will say, oh my gosh, man, might be an avenue that I need to take, might be an avenue that I need to go and be part of this. And the other thing that I'm going to ask you by the time that we finish, I want to say this up front. I created a coaching program for expireds and for sale by owners. That's right. And we meet every Monday, and we lead generate, we role play, we do all these things, and I'm available all week for you. Listen to this. You ready for this? It was a couple of $100. People pay for coaches for $1,000 and $500. I brought this down just for you today and for the rest of this week down to $99 a month. And so if you really want to hook in and get these 5 for sale by owners and possibly expireds also, $99 a month. We meet, like I said, every Monday, and I'm available most of the time, for questions and answers and things on that line for you. That's not a whole lot of money. Now, if you don't have any money, it certainly is. But let's get busy on the for sale by owners, because I think that is going to be. And by the way, I am hooking up. I'm actually going to give all the people that I coach for $99 a little bit of extra moving up the ladder. I am hooking up with a AI guru. I'm telling you, he's probably the best at AI I've ever seen for expireds and for sale by owners and your database. So I am going to be hooking up with them over the next probably 30 days, and you'll have access to AI, whatever that means, where I'm going to be talking to him next week to be able to get expireds and for sale owners and those type of things. So they has put that over there. If you want to just text me and say, hey, I'm interested, I'd like to have a conversation with you, just put that over there. And if you want to go ahead and sign up for $99, she'll put that link in there too. Let's talk about for sale by owners. One of the things I want to say to you is I'm a believer that by November the 15th, November the 15th is the end of our real estate year. In other words, most everything after November the 15th and most everything after Thanksgiving is going to fall into 2026. Can you believe it's already 2026 coming up for our realtor year? Most everything will fall into that. So my point is this: you need to have 5, 6, 7 listings in your inventory going into November the 15th, going into the 2026 year. And to me, that's November the 15th. So that's why I say hook in, make sure that you list at least 5 houses by the end, by Halloween. Okay. And so November the 15th being 2026 for us, I think having 5, 6, 7 listings going in there, you're going to set yourself up for January and February of having a wonderful January and February. So let me kind of give you the essence. First of all, most people will ask the question, how do I get, where do I get the for sale owners? How do I find the for sale owners? First of all, you can certainly get them from Zillow. You can get them from forsaleowners.com. One of the best, a couple of companies that offer these things, and you probably know who they are: RedX, Landvoice, Vulcan 7, Mojo. All of these offer a nice package to you that they will send the expired to for sale by owners to you every single morning. Every single morning, they will send those to you. And now, I do want to say this. The National Association of Realtors, and by the way, I usually quote them because they need to be right, because if they're not right with their statistics, then they will be in trouble by a lot of companies out here. 72% of all for sale by owners end up going with a real estate agent. Let me say that one more time. 72% of all for sale by owners end up going with a real estate agent. So why wouldn't we call them? Why wouldn't we talk to them? Why wouldn't we figure out how to handle the objections that they're going to give us, and how to actually the script and how to talk to them and call them and get an appointment with them? Why not learn our trade? Because you're going to make a lot of money. I always ask people, I used to be a bold coach whenever I was with Keller Williams, and I would always ask the class this question: if you called expireds and for sale owners every day for 1 hour every single day for the rest of the year, would you make more money? And undoubtedly, everybody would raise their hand. But why don't we do that? That it's not about the money. We talk about pain versus pleasure. 90% of the people will run away from pain. And the pain and the pain of calling a for sale by owner is greater than making the money that you know that you'll make. Do for sale owners want to sell a house? Yes. Are we realtors that sell houses? Absolutely. What a great match. So let me tell you, for all of you that are still a little timid about calling for sale by owners, the way that I listed 4 to 5 for sale owners every month is that I did not go after, and I know there's many speakers out here, and you can follow them also. they go after the throat right away. And when I say go after the throat, what I'm talking about is they try to get the listing right whenever they're on the phone with them. They try to get a listing appointment. The other thing that people do, and some realtors do out here, and shame on that because they give us a bad reputation, is they call for sale owners and say, hey, I have a buyer. I've even seen and heard of people taking other realtors out of their office and acting as if they are the buyer. Guys, please don't do that. That is not ethical. That is not what we are about. It is really simple and easy to get an appointment with a for sale by owner. Let me show you how. And then I'll talk to you about what to say whenever you're in the house. So to get the appointment, I believe every single person, even if you're timid about getting about calling them, I believe every single one of us could do this. Listen to this. Hi, how you doing? My name is Rob Daniel. I saw your house on the market. I see you're selling yourself. I know. I'm probably your 100th real estate agent call. Is that right? Break the ice just a little bit, and hopefully they'll laugh with you. Yeah, I'm probably your 100th real estate agent call. Well, listen, the only reason I'm calling is to ask you one question. If I had a buyer, and I always put the word emphasize on if I had a buyer, would you entertain a one-time showing? Now, they know what a one-time showing is. Believe me, the for sale owners are smart. Okay, they are smart out there. They understand you're saying, will you pay my commission? Now, they may only pay 2%. They may only pay 2.5%. They may pay 1%. I don't know. There are going to be some that very few that say, I'm not dealing with a real estate agent. I hate all of you. Get off the phone. Okay, so don't worry about those. Move on to the next for sale by owner. But again, for the most part, most of them will say yes. Most of them will say yes. I'm just asking you one question. If I had a buyer, would you entertain a one-time showing? Yes. Well, listen, I don't know anything about your house, okay? I don't know anything about your house. You could send me to Zillow and I could look at the flyer there, or you could send me a flyer, but it just doesn't do it justice. What I'd like to do is just spend about 15, 20 minutes previewing your property and looking at it through your eyes. Not through a buyer's eye or anything. I would like to see it through your eyes so that you can show me every nook and cranny of the house. And I would be able to, whenever I go back to my office and I look at my computer in my database of the buyers that I have, your house will be the first thing in my mind. And if somebody calls me over the next week or two, your house will be the first thing in my mind. Why? Because I came out and previewed it and saw it. Don't ask them right there, can you come over? The answer is no. You just go right on as if they are going to give you the appointment, and you say, is Monday good or is Wednesday better for me to stop by and take a look at that house? And you catch them off guard by saying, is Tuesday good or is Saturday better? Which is better for you, in morning or afternoon? Morning, is that 10 or 12? Okay, to 11? Okay, I'll see you at 11. Boom, go. So what am I saying? I'm saying get a preview. Every single one of you on here could get a preview. Every single one of you are that good to be able to call them up. We are realtors. We're salespeople. Just convince them you'd like to preview the property and be sincere about that. Okay, be sincere. Don't go over there and bait and switch. Don't go over there and pretend. You're going over there. And by the way, don't you think we realtors, professional realtors, should know all the inventory out there, not just the ones in the MLS? Shouldn't we know all the inventory? And sometimes you can actually use that to go preview the property. That you are one of the realtors out here that is just previewing all the properties for your buyers that you have, so that you are up to date on everything that is on the market. Those that are on the MLS and those that are for sale by owners. But guys, don't make this hard. Don't make it complicated. That's the one thing that I'm a simple type guy. I didn't want to be complicated. And what you got to do is just make sure that all you are asking for is a preview, and go and just preview the property. Okay. We'll take a little drink. So go and preview the property. I believe that every one of you could get 5 previews this week. If you said, Rob, I think I'm going to dedicate myself this week and I'm going to call as many for sale owners as I can get. And I'm going to say something to you at the very end. I hope I can remember. I want to give you because just know this, 70 to 80% of all for sale owners don't advertise on Zillow or a flyer or those type of things. They just put a sign out in front of their yard. Yeah, that big of a percentage. So they're like, nobody's calling them. Very few people are calling those folks. And I'm going to give you a little hint about how to get other people to help you find those for sale by owners. Because if you get those numbers, you're golden. I'm telling you, you're absolutely golden. So let me write something down here to remind me to tell you about that. Man, I hope I remember. If not, somebody throw it over into the chat. Okay, so now you go to the house. You got that? You got your previews. Like I said, I believe that everyone on here, I don't care if you've never called a for sale by owner, I believe everyone on here, you could absolutely, get a preview of the house. Okay, so now what do you say when you get to the house? All right, you're not going to be a long time there. I do want to preference this. Be sensitive to the fact that they may be ready to list their house, okay? They may have been on the market long enough that they're tired of things. You listen to them, but let them bring it up first, okay? If they bring it up and they say, hey, I'd like for you to, have a conversation with me about listing my house possibly, then you got to make sure that all the decision makers are there. Come back with another appointment if they were to bring it up. But I can tell you 9 times out of 10, they're not going to bring it up, okay? But you do have to be sensitive enough to listen to say, okay, will they bring it up or not bring it up, okay? Now, what do you want to do whenever you get to the house? Well, take yourself a notebook, okay? Take yourself a notebook, take yourself a pen, because you're going to preview the house right first. Now, whatever you do, do not go to the kitchen first. That's where you're going to end up. Please do not let them guide you. You tell them, hey, I'd like to take a look at the bedrooms or take a look at the upstairs first. And then we'll come back and end up in the kitchen. You can certainly tell them, where you'd like to go first. Now, have your pad, have your pen ready to go when you open up the door. Now, I got to tell you this. There's sometimes you're going to open up a door to a bedroom and you're going to like, oh my God, keep your poker face on. Keep your happy face there. Do not, you that are really opinionated, no opinions. Let me give you the best script ever, okay? And you might want to practice it right now. Here's the best script as you are going through the house and you see these purple bedrooms. You see this blue type bathroom and the tubs and everything, all this kind of stuff. Here's the best script you could ever have. I made it up myself. Here we go. You ready? As you're writing things down, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. You practice it with me. Go ahead. Ooh, ah, yes. And that's exactly what you want to do. Okay. Keep your jaws shut and just ooh and ah the house right now. You definitely don't want to tell them a bunch of stuff because I can promise you right now, again, you're not going to get the listing. It's ooh, ah, all the way through. Now, you do want to ask a question as you are previewing the property, and here's your question. And by the way, I have what I'm saying to you. I have this on what I call a voice text. You know what a voice text is on texting. I have this, what I said about getting in the preview, the script, and what I'm saying to you in the house. I have this on a voice text. I also have it on video that I did when I was doing YouTube a year or so ago. If you like this, just put yes over into the chat and I will send it to you. Okay, you can have it, and but you got to ask for it, and I'll make sure that we get it to you. So if you would like this on voice text, or we might send it to you on video, just throw a yes over there, and we'll make sure that you get a hold of that. Okay, now. Again, you're in the house and you're oohing and ahhing, right? You're just oohing and ahhing to death, okay? And then here's the question you want to ask while you are going through there, while you are going through the house. You want to ask this one question, and that's really all you want to do. When you sell the house yourself, Remember I said, when you sell the house yourself, you're acknowledging they're going to sell it. When you sell the house yourself, where are you moving to next? And they will tell you, and that is information. Now, here's what you know. You know their motivation. Okay, you know their motivation. I mean, if they say something like, well, you know, hey, if I sell it, I sell it. If I don't, I don't. I know it's $100,000 overpriced, but hey, I don't need to move. Well, guys, you know that's like a 2 motivation. Might be a minus, 2. And you may not want to deal with that very much. Okay, you may want to get on through the house and just get out of there. At least they know who you are and that kind of thing. And keep up with them. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But the bottom line is, if they say, hey, I'm moving to, California, or I'm moving to Florida, I'm moving to Texas, I'm moving to Nebraska, I'm moving to Maine, just ask the next question. When do you need to be there? And if they say, I've got to be there and by the end of the year, well, then you know that their motivation is pretty high. And that's a person you definitely want to keep up with at a high level. Okay. So now we're going through the house. We've asked those couple of questions. Now we end up in the kitchen. Do not sit down. No. That sitting down says, I want to talk to you about taking your listing. That's what that says. No, you just stay standing. And they're on the other side of the table. You could be on the other side of the table, and you're just saying, you're looking at them and saying, Mr. and Mrs. Or Mr. or Mrs. or both, for sale by owner. I just want to let you know that the, National Association of Realtors says that 72% of all for sale owners end up going with a real estate agent. Now, I hope that you're in the other percentage. Okay. I hope you're not in that 72%. And guess what? I hope that I sell it. Okay. I make money, then you make money, then we all are happy. Okay. But just in case you fall into the 72%, let me tell you what normally happens. And this is what you call, kind of in the language of sales term, future pacing. In other words, that's the kind of big word about it, future pacing. But what you're really doing is telling them what they're actually going to do. And by the way, this is what they actually do. You're going to be sitting, you might be possibly sitting at the dinner table one night with your significant other or partner, and you're just sitting there saying, oh my gosh, I am so tired of all these people coming to our house and they don't write a contract. I'm tired of having open houses every Sunday. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing this. Now you're telling them this is what's going to happen. By the way, by telling them this is what's going to happen, you're like getting into their head. You're like getting into their brain, and they're going to be sitting at the table one night. It might be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 weeks from now, but they're going to remember that you said that you're going to do this, and you're going to say, I'm just so tired. Who can we call? Who can we call to talk to us about listing our house? And you know what I want you to do then? I want you to look right over there. Now, what's over there, everybody? Does anybody know what's over there whenever I say that? Yeah, I'm not going to wait for you to put it over in the chat, and you can't talk. So I'll just go ahead and tell you it's the refrigerator, right? It's the refrigerator. And so what you do is you pull out your card, you have your card ready. Sometimes you can have that magnet on the back of it, right? You can have, right, Renato, you have your business card, maybe the magnet on the back. And most people have refrigerators with magnets all over them anyway. And you go over there and you take a magnet, or you put yours on there and you put it on the refrigerator. And guys, I know there are some refrigerators that don't have magnets and that kind of stuff. Just give them the card then. You put it on the table, and you're going to say, you're just going to look right here on the table, or put it over on a cabinet, something like that. You'll figure it out. But most of the time, you'll be able to put it on the refrigerator. And you're going to look right over there, Mr. or Mrs. For Sale by Owner, and you're going to see my card and my number. And I just want you to give me a call. Now, and kind of closing up and getting ready to leave. See, I do tell them that. I don't want you to freak out what I'm going to say. Now, I did say freak out. That's why I tell everybody, I actually use that word. You might use a better word than that. I said, don't freak out, but I would like to call you every week. Now, hang on before you say anything, because I want to tell you what I'm going to say to you, okay? I'm going to ask you just 3 questions when I call. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to sit there and convince you to list with me or do anything. But I do need to know if you've sold your house or got a contract on it so that I can stop looking for a buyer. So that's going to be the first question. Have you had the good fortune of selling your property yet? And if you say, Nope. Then I'm going to ask you a second question very quickly. Have you thought about going with me yet? And if you say nope, I'm going to ask you the third question. Do you still have my phone number? Yep. And then I'm going to say, well, have a great day. I'll talk to you next week. Now, that's the only thing I ever ask. That's the only thing that I ever ask. Now, here's what I would say to you. The nice part, and here's what I would say to the for sale owner, and I forgot to say this to you. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. For Sale by Owner, I want to let you know something also. I'm not going to keep calling you back. I'm only going to call one time a week. And if you don't answer your phone, that's okay. See, I'm giving them permission not to answer their phone. If you don't answer your phone, that's okay. But I am going to put those 3 questions on your voicemail. So whenever you do go to your voicemail, you're going to at least hear my voice, okay? You're going to hear my voice. One way or another, if you pick it up, you're going to hear it, or if you go back to your voicemail, and I'm just going to be asking you those 3 questions. And yes, guys, I put those 3 questions on voicemail. Here's what you got to know. 70%, I really worked that out. 70% of the people will not answer their phone. They'll see your caller ID, or they just don't want to answer it, or they're busy, right? So 70% will not answer, 30% will. And you still just ask those 3 questions, okay? And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to ask those 3 questions. You don't have to answer the phone. And so that's why I don't want you to freak out. Listen, you have a wonderful day. I appreciate you. Goodbye. And I walk out the door. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But here's the key. You got to do a bunch of them, okay? And you got to do a bunch of them right now. That's why I say go determine that you're going to get 5 previews this week. 1 or 2 are not going to be home anyway. So you only have about 3 that you're actually going to be able to get into. Some of them are going to be vacant, and some of them are going to be the for sale owner will say, yep, the key is here, or somebody will meet you out there, that kind of, that's all okay. Go look at it. You are just stockpiling for sale by owners. No matter what the deal is, you're just stockpiling for sale by owners. Don't get frazzled whenever they ask you something, or if you get a jerk on the phone, or you get somebody that's ugly or that kind of stuff. You don't want them anyway. You know, one of the best things you could say to those folks is, listen, I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate you saying all the things that you're saying, and that I just don't think I'm the agent for you. Have a great day, and hang up. And go next. Don't get hung up on that person. There's going to be 1 or 2 of you. That's who you're going to get right out of the gate. The first or second one are going to be ugly people, or going to say something ugly or that kind of thing, and you're just going to give up and you're going to stop and not do anything. No, most of them are really nice people. Most of them will say yes to paying a commission. Many of them will give you a preview. That's the people that you want to take. So what I say to you, dedicate yourself as a business person and go and get as many previews between now and Halloween. And I can promise you, if you do a bunch now, between now and the end of September, you'll list 2 or 3 in October. Let me give you my statistic here that I know works. For however many for sale by owners you are following up with every single week, 10 to 20% will list with you every month. So if you're keeping up with 20, if you get out there and do 20 in the next couple of weeks, 20 previews, and you're following up with just those 3 questions, and by the way, it will take you less than 30 minutes to call those 20 people, because like I said, 70% are not going to answer the phone. And you're just going to leave it on a voice mail. But again, the bottom line is, if you're calling 20, you're going to list 2 to 4 listings every single month. Every single month. You just got to be dedicated to it. You got to be consistent, persistent. You got to stay with it. That's why again, I always say, I think everybody needs a coach. Okay. And yes, I'm promoting my coaching for $99 to hold you accountable to that a little bit. Knowing that we meet every Monday and role play these type of things, and role play the scripts, and role play the handling objections, and you can call me anytime, that kind of thing. So let me give you that. That's the script that I use. That's the system that I use to be able to get 4 to 5 for sale owners to list with me every single month. Every single month. Okay, so now let me tell you a couple things here at the end that I want to tell you how to go get those signs that are out there, the numbers from the signs. Guys, this is where you use your database, okay? This is where you use your database. I have helped these folks that I'm coaching do this really well. And this is what happens. You ask your database. Now, this is killing and knocking down two birds with one stone type deal, because now you're involving your database and helping you. You have a prize at the end. You have a drawing each month. Like at the end of September, you're going to have a drawing for, I saw a 65-inch TV for $225. 65-inch TV for $225. Everybody likes a TV. And so for $225, you tell your database, for every for sale by owner that you take a picture of their phone number and the sign out in their front yard, which is just fine. They can. I mean, nothing illegal about that. Take a picture of the for sale owner sign in the front yard and send it to you. You'll put their name in the drawing. If they do 10 of them, they're going to have 10 chances to win the 65-inch TV. It could be something else. I just don't know about dinners or cards or stuff like that, because I mean, you don't know where they want to go to dinner or something on that line, but you think about how you want to do it. Okay. But I can promise you, they love that. Your database will love you, especially your top 20%. By the way, we do talk about that in the coaching program too. I kind of extend it from expired and for sale owners and really talk to you about the DTD2, do the database too. We give you 2 letters and you call behind it, the last names of the 2 alphabets. We do that for 13 weeks straight, and you'll have called everybody in your database. But you just need sometimes a little bit of a push, just a little bit of an accountability, okay? And so again, that's the for sale by owners. That's what I did. So let me just find out. Jennifer Brown said something. So where is the best place to find for sale owners driving around? I feel like Zillow barely has any in my area, like 7 in the area with 5,000. Yeah. And then for you, it is driving around or getting your database, Jennifer, to really, kind of partner with you. You can call it partnering, but they want to have a contest. People like the contest stuff. People like the drawing. And they will fight for you if they're in your top 20% most of the time, people that you really know. FSBOsNowYear.com. But I tell you, you might want to talk to somebody like a Landvoice or a RedX or somebody and just see what kind of for sale owners in your area are they getting before you make a decision to actually buy them. But they do come into a really nice practice. So, guys, that's what I have for you today. I can tell you one other thing. Let me tell you, if you're still scared, I created a new technique. I think you'll like it. Put a bunch of stuff, from your company, whatever company you're from, put a whole bunch of stuff into a envelope, 8.5 by 11 envelope. Okay. Have a bunch of them in your back car, in the back seat of your car. When you see a for sale by owner, I know the brakes usually don't stop in front of a for sale. They stop right before, they stop right after, but never in front of a sign. But stop your car, leave it running. Leave it running. Now, inside there, you're just going to put a bunch of stuff. My company's best, #1. You can get it off their website, but put a little note in there. Hi, my name is, I'll just pick a name here. My name is Carrie Davis from, whatever company you're with, or my name is Joey Sullivan from so-and-so. Hey, I would like to, introduce myself to you. I see your house is on the market. And if you ever need anybody to have a conversation with about selling your house, I would like to have that conversation. I'll keep your house in mind also. And just put your card in there and say, hey, please put this on your refrigerator if you ever need me. Now, what you do is you keep the car running. That's your safety blanket. Okay. That's like a safety blanket. You get out of your car, you run up to the door, you drop it on the doorstep, and you run back. I call it the run, drop, run technique. And you get in your car and you just burn rubber out of there, man, before they ever open that door. Again, you might think that's funny a little bit, but I want you to think about it. Why aren't the for sale by owners are not calling you anywhere? Because they don't know who you are. But at least they will have something on their doorstep to look at and say, oh, it's Glenn or it's Wade. That's who it is. And they may put your card in, they may call you. What I've always asked in my class, how many of you, every for sale by owner within a 25-mile radius knows your name? They know your name. And I've never had anybody really raise their hand. Okay. Then how do they know to call you? When they're ready to list their house, how do they know? That's the only thing you've got to do is let people know who you are. And that's why you go preview. And next thing you know, you're calling 10 or 20 every month, and you're listing 2 to 4 every single month. I promise you, it works. Worked for me. It's working for a lot of people that I'm coaching, a lot of people that I'm doing things for. So again, guys, I just say to you on October 30th, put that down. I'm going to be doing expireds. I hope you come back and hear about expireds. We'll be sending you the for sale by owners. But guys, if you want to just go ahead and join the $99 club, and you can come this Monday, we definitely will, we'll do that. You can just go right ahead and do it. Paul, that is September 30th. Yeah, September 30th. Because I want to get you at least 5 to 6 expires before Thanksgiving. You just think about this, guys. If you do 4 or 5 for sale by owners before Halloween, and you do 4 or 5 expires by Thanksgiving, you'll have a good amount of people in your inventory, houses in your inventory, when November the 15th to Thanksgiving comes around and it falls into 2026. That's what you got to have in our business. You got to have the inventory. And I hope and pray that the head of the feds will lower the interest rates here real soon whenever they talk. I think they're talking real soon. Okay. So, I can repeat the 3 questions, Barbara. Have you had the good fortune of selling your property yet? Have you thought about going with me yet? And have you still have my phone number? Oh, by the way, Barbara, here's one of the things you want to do. Everybody listen to this. Whenever you are asking those questions, the biggest thing to listen for, don't just, ask when you're asking the questions, they're going to say no, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, no, yes. Did you hear what I did? You hear a hesitation when I asked the question, well, have you thought about going with me yet? Well, no. Ooh. Understand this, everybody. When you hear a hesitation in their voice, they're going to list with somebody in the next 2 weeks. May not be you, but in the next 2 weeks. Oh, hey, listen, Jennifer, I heard your voice just now. You had a little bit of a hesitation. Listen, why don't I do this for you? I know that I came over and looked at your house through your eyes the first time, and when I previewed it, why don't I come over and look at it through the buyer's eye this time? And let me see why your house isn't selling and maybe show you what I can do for you. And is all the decisions going to be there on Tuesday, or is Thursday better? Did you see how I did that? That's if you hear the hesitation. You want to go ahead and start setting up the appointment to go back and take the listing. Okay. So with that, like I said, my phone number, I think they put my phone number in there. If you'll text me and just say FSBO for FSBO, I'll give you a call and we'll have a conversation about my coaching program. Or if you want to go ahead and join it, please take the link. Dave, can you put the link right on in there? $99. I hope that wouldn't hurt you. There's no contract for a year. There's no contract for 6 months. It's just, hey, let's do this together. And let me hold you accountable just a little bit. Okay. So there's the, there it is. Put Rob 99 to get it for $99 a month, and we'll go. So listen, everybody, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to being with you. By the way, we do have these webinars every Tuesday. I don't do them all. Next week is a young man by the name of Kyle, and he's an AI expert. He's not the AI guru I'm going to hire, but he's a great AI person. So thanks a lot, everyone. I trust that I'll see you, and I trust that you join the coaching program. Have a wonderful time, and go get those previews. See you later. Bye-bye.